you come to help your average out.
No, it's not. But he has been on fire here. 8 hits, home runs, the doubles, everything that has matched up for Charlie Blackmon so far against the Padres. But it's not just against the Padres. When you look at Charlie Blackmon and you look at his ranks throughout all of baseball, you'll see where he is, and it's among the top at everything. 41 RBIs, he's first. The 99 hits, second. 52 runs, second. Steals, second. Home runs, third. And again, the on-base percentage is fifth among all of these players that are leading off in a baseball game. At Petco, it's been very special for Charlie Blackmon. And last night was no different. This was earlier in the season when he took a ball to dead center field for a home run. Look at those numbers. 18, 5 home runs, a 440 average. They can't get him out. And to lead off the ball games as he did last night, he gets on base. He gets the opportunities to score an awful lot of runs. And he went deep last night, including the double off the wall. But Charlie's a guy that's setting the table for the table setters, and now all of a sudden with the lack of being able to get big hits with men in scoring position, the Rockies have to do that. That's the number one priority in this ballpark.
And you're facing an outstanding right-hander in Tyson Ross tonight, but he's got good numbers against Ross also, 4 hits and 11 at-bats. And it's not just, as you suggest, starting the game and you reach a walk or a hit. That's great. He can have an impact at bat very early in a baseball game.
Well, he can. Last night a double, home run. And the things that he does to lead off innings changes the whole course of what you're going to look at. Ross has yet to beat the Colorado Rockies. He's 0-5 in his career against them. He's pitched well here. He's 0-2 with a 2 ERA. But they find a way to lose the ball game against Colorado.
Well, it should be interesting. The Rockies trying to snap that 5-game losing streak at Petco. Colorado will send Chad Bettis to the hill. His first start in the second half. Bettis in that outstanding curveball. The Rockies and Padres come on back to San Diego with us. Welcome, everybody, to Petco Park, downtown San Diego, California. The Rockies' middle game of a 3-game set against the Padres. Last night, the Padres prevailed 4-2. Something happened this afternoon that I've never seen happen in all my years coming to San Diego. I mean, it rained like the dickens. And thankfully, we had with us our traveling meteorologist, Doug Marino, who informed us that Tropical Cyclone Dolores hit this afternoon. They put out the tarp. They had to take out directions to get the tarp out. and the tarp was on the field. There was no BP this afternoon for either club, Frazier.
Dougie, I got to ask, how many rainouts have they had here?
Don't do that to him.
Why?
But
he knows that he's got it. He'll have it.
I
No
did
question.
learn this. It was not the first time they pulled the tarp this year. They had to pull it one other time this year. They pulled it once
Did the
last
sprinklers
year.
get stuck?
It is something about the Rockies and the rain in 2015. We all know what's gone on in Denver, but if you recall, you weren't on this trip. It was Jeff and I.
L.A.
In L.A., there was a rain delay. The good news is Tropical Cyclone Dolores, according to Dougie, has moved north to Los Angeles. They need the rain. And it is somewhat clear. I suppose the best way to call the weather right now is partly cloudy. Rockies ready to go. Tyson Ross will face Charlie Blackmon. Charlie with a .292 average, a .360 on-base percentage, improving on terrific numbers last year when he was a first-time All-Star. Here's Walt's lineup. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. DJ LeMahieu back in that 2 spot. Then it's Tulo, Cargo, Arenado in the middle. Ben Paulson getting another start. Nick Hundley against his former club will bat 7th. Brandon Barnes, Mr. Energy, in the 8th spot. And then Chad Bettis. First pitch of the ball game, a heater for a strike at 94. Ross Frazier is one of those hard guys.
Last 5 starts been pretty special. He has not lost a game since June the 15th. 3-0, 382 earned run average overall. The overall numbers, you look at him, a very good earned run average. He has 55 walks. That's the most in the National League. His strikeouts of 118, that's the 8th most in the National League.
And what I mean by a hard guy, you know that, George, it's fastball slider. He doesn't throw many true off-speed pitches. There's strike 3. He'll ring up the strikeouts, as George just mentioned, and he hits the inside quarter.
Well, if you get an umpire that's going to let you have the corners, and that's what Tyson Ross has to have, that ball appears to be high, catches the top of the zone. Charlie thought it was a little bit even with his hands. He holds those high. You'll see the arsenal, just what Drew talked about. The cutter, very rarely. All fastball sliders for the majority of this ball game.
He throws, according to Nick Hundley, who knows him well, remains a good friend of his, he throws about 2 changeups a year. DJ up there with 1 out. This is a big kid, 6'6". Last year he was an all-star, if you recall. He went 13-14 with a .281 ERA.
There's one of the sliders, a late breaking slider on a 2-0 count to make it 2-1. It's probably the difference. I mean, he's tried to power his way through a lineup an awful lot. And that's where he's been able to have the ability to throw that hard sinker. DJ's going to have a shot at this. It's going to be close.
Called out at first base by Joe West, and no argument from Eric Young or DJ LeMahieu. Clint Barmes can still pick him, can he?
Having a pretty good year with a bat for Clint Barmes. 281, a home run, and 9 RBIs. Another look at it. Hard sinker right off the front of the plate. Clint ranging all the way up to the middle. That side throw and a pick at first by Alonso.
Yep, and clearly he was out. So 2 gone, and that'll bring up Troy. Tulowitzki last night was 1 for 2 with a couple of walks, so he was on base 3 more times. He's now reached in 39 consecutive ball games, hitting .314 overall, among the league leaders in batting average. And that hard sinker rolled to short, and Barmes just did get Tulowitzki. So it's a 1-2-3 beginning for Tyson Ross with a little help from his veteran shortstop. And TR is waiting, and he's got the stop sign out, waiting to hear from Brian Jones inside the Rockies clubhouse. See if Tulo got the foot on the bag. That is really close.
Really close. We'll see if Brian Jones decides to give him thumbs up, thumbs down.
You know, the trouble is he was called out. Is it enough that they turn it over? This one's going to be really definitive, and
well,
the Rockies are not going to
just
challenge it.
Yeah, Walt just gave the hand signal to Joe West and the umpire crew. Get it going.
Yeah, they're not going to challenge it. So Tyson Ross has a clean first inning. We'll see Chad Bettis when we come back. Out in the field, Yangervis Solarte will be the first batter for the Padres tonight. The switch hitting third baseman, and the first pitch from Chad's outside, ball one. Bettis will work very quickly.
I like a guy that controls the pace and rhythm of the game, not the hitter controlling.
And that's a line drive, base hit to right for Solarte. Take a look at the Southwest batting order for Pat Murphy tonight. Yonder Alonso will bat second. And then it's a couple of guys who did a lot of damage last night. Matt Kemp, Justin Upton, and Jed Jerko, who had a two-run home run in the first inning yesterday. Will Venable starting in center field. He'll bat sixth. Clint Barnes seventh. The young catcher, Austin Hedges. And Tyson Ross, who handles the bat decently.
Chad Bettis have been able to handle the top of the lineup or leading off innings all year. 217 average against.
Here's Yonder Alonso. Frazier, he leads the club in hitting against right-handed pitching at 277. And if you say, well, that's not that terrific an average, it's a solid average. One of the knocks on the construction of this team was it was too right-handed dominant.
And I can understand where they come from with that, with Venable and Alonso, the two guys on the left side trying to do any damage at all. Rockies this year in 2015 are 8-4 when Mr. Bettis takes the mound.
Hey, think about it. That's terrific. You know what they've done typically when De La Rosa's on the mound. Obviously, De La did not win yesterday. So the first two in the Rockies rotation now, and it wasn't set up this way back in April. Chad started the year in Albuquerque, but now as they reset the rotation in the second half, the top two, the veteran De La Rosa and then Chad Bettis, and they've won far more than they've lost when those two guys are on the mound, and that's impressive for a club that comes into tonight's game 11 games south of 500.
He's got to figure out 3, 4, and 5.
Yep, sounds that way. By the way, we did learn earlier from Walt Weiss that tomorrow he will not be TBA any longer taking the mound. It will be Eddie Butler returning to the big leagues. In fact, Eddie was supposed to arrive close to game time tonight. 3-0, and Nick Hundley wants fresh baseball, and he's called time. DJ Rayburn, while we have a moment's behind home plate this evening. Country Joe West, he's at first base. Kerwin Danley's at second. Rob Drake at third. That's our umpiring crew this evening. That's on the inside corner for a strike. Solarte at first base, not a big base stealer. And this is in the air to down the left field line. Arenado near the stands, and it popped out of his glove.
Had to hustle to get to the position where the ball was going to come down, felt the wall. I don't know, look right here. Look, he turned his head, whether it got into the light or what happened, but it hit right on the palm, and I think that's where Arenado, watch right here. See, it's almost like he started to squint and move away. It got into something that he didn't pick the ball up that last 8 or 9 feet.
Yeah, it clearly looked like something distracted him, or he lost the vision of the baseball. The flight of the baseball. Runner's moving, and DJ's still going to try to turn it out there, out at first. What a quick decision by DJ. And it really, George, is a safer play than you think, because they're going to get the out at first. Why not try to turn it?
Well, that's right, and not try to turn it. But the thing you got to be careful of, if you have a speedy runner, that he gets into Tulowitzki. I mean, that's the only thing you worry about, turning it this quick. But he slid very early, clean slide into second base. That allowed you to turn it. You get a guy going into second that is known for somebody to knock you over or flip you, then it becomes a little more difficult to try to turn that.
Well done by DJ and Tulowitzki. So here's Matt Kemp. Matt, a home run and a double last night. He's hitting 6 straight, which is his longest hitting streak of the year.
Yeah, last night he got a hold of a ball early in this ball game, a changeup from De La Rosa. He knew it the minute it left the bat. Cleared about 6 rows up into the upper deck.
Boy, that's a good changeup from Chad Bettis.
This team is a very good fastball hitting team. Not so good on the changeup and curveball, which should play favorably for Bettis.
Shakes off 2, wants the third sign. 1-2, fastball, and it's poked off the end of the bat to first. Paulson to Chad Bettis, and he works to the minimum number of hitters in the first. So we'll go to the second inning. DJ LeMahieu started his 28th double play of the year. That leads all second basemen in the NL. Toyota stores, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at southwest.com. We go to the second inning on an overcast day in San Diego. An early start time, 5:40 in the latter part of the afternoon here on the West Coast. With George Frazier and Jenny Cavnar. Jenny will be along shortly. I'm Drew Goodman. Cargo in the second will lead things off, batting cleanup tonight. He batted in the 2 spot yesterday. He swings through a fastball there from Tyson Ross. 34 ball games in the cleanup spot for Cargo this year. 331 average, 9 home runs, 22 RBIs. Everywhere else in the lineup, he's hit just a .199. So this has been a nice spot for Cargo.
Well, you got protection all the way around. When you have Tulowitzki in front, Arenado behind, you're going to see some fastballs.
Shift is on for Cargo. There's Nolan preparing for his AB. 1-1. A lot of movement on a Tyson Ross fastball, and not only is he 6'6", George, but he really stays upright. So it's a downhill plane.
Well, you got to have it. Why not take advantage of the leverage when you're 6'6"? You get flat, it flattens out. That's when he's going to get hurt. Take advantage of the downhill plane. Take advantage of your leverage and drive the ball down in the zone.
And he gets a strikeout of Gonzalez, his second of the ball game. The Coors Light Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. How about this one? It's been 14 consecutive starts that Ross has gone without allowing a home run. In fact, he's only allowed 3 this year. They came fairly early on. And in the history of the Padres, if he were to go through tonight not allowing a home run, he'd match Dave Roberts' record in 71 of going 15 straight without allowing a long ball. And a guy we were visiting with earlier tonight, Randy Jones, the great Randy Jones. He had a long string. Of course, Randy had that great sinker. Strike one on Arenado.
Second in the National League in total bases at 197. Todd Frazier 200 leads it all. Harper 195. It wasn't that easy. Sorry, Tyson. Goldschmidt 194. And Adrian Gonzalez 173 to tell you how well Arenado has played.
2 outs, nobody on with Ben Paulson coming up. We'll take a moment to check the gloves for San Diego this evening. Again, it's Justin Upton and Matt Kemp on the corners in the outfield. Will Venable's a good center fielder. He's out there tonight. Solarte and our old friend Clint Barmas on the left side. Jed Jerko at second, not a great deal of range. Yonder Alonso's at first. And a guy they really like, Austin Hedges, a former second-round pick out of a California high school a couple years back, is behind the plate. He's just 22.
Got some power, 1 home run so far at the big league level. The average hasn't shown up, 143. But I think a lot of that stems also from the fact you're hitting 8th in the lineup as a young player. You don't have any protection around you. I mean, they're going to go right at you, walk you, or throw pitches out of the zone if you chase and get too eager.
And this ball is going to be playable in foul ground for Solarte. And it's a very quick inning for Tyson Ross.
Pat Murphy on the left, Nolan Arenado on the right. They have a special relationship. That's because Pat Murphy, when he was the head coach at Arizona State University, he recruited a young Nolan Arenado back in 2008. He even got Nolan to commit to ASU. They got to catch up before the game today. And Pat Murphy is very impressed with where Nolan Arenado's ended up in his big league career.
We got to see each other in AAA, so we got to rekindle. Got to see his dad. He's from a great baseball family, great people, and he's emerging into one of the stars of the game, and it's great to see. Sad I didn't get a chance to coach him for a couple years. Then again, maybe a good thing. I might have screwed him up. You never know. But.
Well, Nolan said he really enjoyed Murphy's and wanting to go to ASU, and he also said when he was sitting in that office, Murph just pointed to the wall and said, "See those? Those are World Series appearances. You want to go here? You want to play in World Series? You come to ASU." So it was an easy acceptance for Nolan, but of course we know how things ended up, and it looks like they ended up in both of their favors.
Yeah, I listen, with all due respect to the wonderful program that Murphy had at ASU, Jenny, in Nolan's case, he made the right decision.
I think so. I absolutely do. And, I remember talking to his parents, obviously, earlier this year when we worked on Nolan's special, and they said that they wanted him to go to college. That was always the goal, was baseball was going to take you to college, but they also had a number. And if Nolan was able to get recruited or to be drafted higher for Major League Baseball, they would let him go. Well, of course, we know how that ended up. And when you're drafted in one of those top rounds, you take the money and run, right?
Well, it reminds me, and George, you'll recall this. This ball's hit pretty well to right field, but the car goes out there, and Jerko will be the second out of the inning. Remember when Rocket Ismail came out at Notre Dame a year early? I think it was a year, maybe 2 years early. And, you're going to a great academic institution like Notre Dame, and it was back before it was commonplace. And people are criticizing, stay in school, get your education. And he said, hey, he had a wonderful line. He said, what's everybody's goal upon graduation? To get the high, and he answered it himself. He said, to get the highest paying job when you complete your studies, right? He goes, well, if somebody's offering me millions of dollars right now, it's a pretty good gig.
It's a great gig, and for Nolan, who went very high in the Rockies organization, it was the right choice, the smart choice. His brother, by the way, Jonah, is playing very well in the San Francisco Giants organization in the Sally League in his first full season of baseball. He is also a third baseman, swings just like Nolan, looks like Nolan. A little bit taller.
Yep, a little taller.
6'4" and about 190 pounds.
That's pulled foul by Will Venable. Nice play. How about that? Jose Valentin.
See, I really didn't think it was that tough. It was like a six hopper. All you got to do is catch it.
Listen, anymore when one of the base coaches makes a play, you got to give them their due. Curveball's outside.
I mean, if he would have dove and got it, all right, now I'm going to applaud a little bit. It was like a 9 hopper. Should have took his helmet off and caught it. Do it behind the back. Show off a little bit.
He didn't want any part of that one.
89 ball games for Arenado's little brother. 7 home runs, 45 RBIs, hitting .260.
They're very close. In fact, they lived together in Scottsdale during spring training.
Well, I'd hope so. Big brother, let's go. Come on, pick it up. I want one with the big bedroom.
Swung on and missed. Chad Bettis pulled the string nicely, and he has a 1-2-3 second inning. We're locked in. Pretty good pitching duel. Tyson Ross for the Padres, Chad Bettis for the Rockies. Southern California. Who wants tacos? When the Rockies score 7 or more, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. So strange to see it pouring outside most of the day today.
Good sleep weather at the hotel. Got up and had an early breakfast. Went back upstairs, opened all the windows. It's perfect.
Had to run inside today, George. I've never had to run inside in San Diego.
See, there's another first for you to mark down in the book, you're right.
Yeah. Hundley Barnes and Chad Bettis against Tyson Ross, the 28-year-old from Berkeley, California. Tyson went to Cal Berkeley also. He's an all Pac-10 player, pitching at Cal.
Now, the last 4 ball games for Nick Hundley, 9 for 16. How about that? 4 straight multi-hit ball games.
Always interesting when a guy changes teams like Nick has, a longtime Padre, and he's very familiar as a catcher with the guy who's on the hill. He caught him a ton of times.
Yeah, it's a little different. You're like, okay, what does he think I'm going to do in this count? By the way, did you know Nick Hundley hit the 1,000th career home run here at Petco Park? Did it against the Marlins back in 2011. Did you know that?
No,
I didn't either until I read it on the board out there.
Those big.
You thought I was doing a lot of homework. I actually just read the board.
Yeah, those big scoreboards can come in handy once in a while.
Yeah, they always tell a story here at Petco.
I'll tell you what that big scoreboard has done. It's a beautiful video board. Gorgeous. But it's blocked, George, some of the wind that would come down that street off San Diego Bay. I'm not making this up now. And there's a theory here that that's why the ball is traveling better to left and left center field than it ever has.
Makes sense.
It does make sense.
Makes a lot of sense. But I always thought the video board was big anyway here. Huh.
3 and 2 on Hundley. And look at this. Last year, 1.25 home runs a game. Worst in baseball. I mean, we've all known what kind of offensive park Petco is. This year, home runs per game, 5th most. You kidding me? They went from dead last, which they typically were, to now 5th most. And I know, yeah, you added Upton and Kemp, you added some big bats in the middle of the lineup.
I honestly think that had more.
5th,
I think that had more to do with it than that board out there.
I think the board has something to do with it.
It does have something, but I think adding those guys to the lineup sure changed things around a little bit too.
Well, in the case of Upton, he's hit 12 of his 15 here at home. This ball to deep short. Barmes on the forehand side will throw out Nick Hundley. Rockies fans, join in on the conversation. Send us your thoughts and photos via Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Utilize the hashtag ToyotaTalk, and we'll show some of your comments throughout the game. This is great. Look at this. This is Brandon Barnes trying to move the tarp. I really believed he could be a one-man grounds crew. That's Corey Dickerson, because, and George, you would know this better than anybody.
He moved it. Didn't say how far he had to move.
Well,
he moved it.
But here's the thing. You were in the clubhouse forever. All kinds of crazy conversations take place in the clubhouse with some of the idle time. Today's subject du jour. For $1 million,
oh boy,
could you put the tarp out by yourself, given 24 hours, unroll it and get it out on the field by yourself, and you could not use any sort of equipment?
No, no, they couldn't do it.
Well, Barnesy, Dickerson,
couldn't do it.
They all felt like they could do it. Ben Paulson said no way.
They can't do it.
Charlie Blackmon, being the Georgia Tech guy, was trying to calculate different, ways.
Look out there. There's 12 guys rolling that tarp. You think one guy's going to get it started and roll it out 95 for 100 feet?
Right. Well, Barnesy felt like after trying it, he was a little dismayed, but he said, listen, I got 24 hours. I started to get the thing moving.
Not going to happen.
Piece by piece.
Not happening.
3-1 on Brandon. And the slider at the top of the zone, 3-2. But it was funny because the conversation's taking place in the clubhouse, and then they all jumped up and they ran down there to see if they could move it.
One guy could do it.
Yeah. Ooh, this is a chance for an infield hit. Solarte coming, didn't get him. And it will be an infield hit for Brandon Barnes. So with one out, the Rockies have their first base runner, one out in the third.
Well, you know it's going to be a tough play. He's 8 to 10 steps behind the third base bag. Going to be the bare hand. Really nice job. Just Barnes' speed able to outrun this, and this is where you get those base hits. That's how you hit 290 instead of 288. That's how you hit 300. Hustling down the line.
So here's Chad Bettis, who will try to get a bunt down. And the grounds crew, big salute to the San Diego grounds crew. They had to work hard this afternoon, and was asking one of their guys if they've had a lot of practice putting that tarp out, and that's what he mentioned earlier this year. They had to put it out, and he said, we have some guys, you know, come up from the minor leagues. That's not good. That have had to do it. They had a guy that was working in Detroit with the Tigers who's come over now to the grounds crew of San Diego. So there's more experience there than you might think for a team playing in a part of the country where they do not see a lot of rain in the summer.
16 rainouts total in the old ballpark, 5 here at Petco, the last in 2011.
So 2 outs and Blackman at the plate. Barnes at first. Chad Bettis is now 0 for 33, by the way, to begin his career. That's the longest stretch of any active pitcher. Now that John Lester finally got a hit. Took him, what, 66 at bats? Somewhere in there.
I was actually watching the game at home when he got that hit.
Did you stand up and salute him as a
fellow
pitcher?
It was funny because the announcers are like ripping all over him that he can't hit, can't do this, and then all of a sudden, bam, base hit. Nice.
Well, with Bettis, George, to be the anti-jinx, we'll just keep bringing up the fact that he doesn't have a big league hit yet. There goes Barnes, and the throw by Hedges is going to get it.
Barnes all right? Yeah, kind of rolled over.
Yep, he's all right. Good throw by Hedges, and that'll end the inning. Hedges is now 9 out of 19 catching would-be base stealers. That is outstanding.
Hey, why don't maybe take a look at this? Walt's looking back.
Clint Barmes to the plate. Barmy takes strike one. Hitting .282 this year, couple home runs, 8 RBIs. Probably playing more than originally thought because of Amarista's issues at shortstop, and we haven't even seen him yet in this series. In fact, yesterday, if you missed it, Will Middlebrooks, who hadn't really played much shortstop since high school, got his 4th start at short in last night's ball game.
A lot of times, whenever you haven't played a lot, you start to cheat on pitches to get the head of the bat out in a hurry through the strike zone, and that's when you take advantage of that with the changeup and curveball. Bettis threw him the curveball and didn't have a shot. Misses with the fastball down to even the count 2-2.
For a 10th round pick in 2000, what a career Clint Barmes has had.
Oh, he's had a great career.
Couldn't happen to a better guy. Swung on and missed. So Barmes strikes out. That's the 2nd strikeout for Chad Bettis. And that'll bring up the catcher, Austin Hedges. Time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag RMDataStrongFan. And you hopefully will find your way to a future Rockies game here on Root Sports. Again, that's brought to you by our friends at T-Mobile. Last night we saw a young lady sporting all kinds of purple garb and had a big Rockies foam finger. Hedges takes a pitch just beneath the knee, so it's 1-1. Well, fastball at 94.
His promotion came pretty close to when Pat Murphy took over, and Pat was managing the AAA ball club. Hedges had hit .324, a couple of home runs, 15 RBIs in 21 games.
Ooh, let the curveball up, and Hedges hits it a long way to left, and well, Austin Hedges got a hanger and just hit his 2nd big league home run.
Well, they think this young man's going to be able to do this with a lot more consistency as he gets comfortable at the big league level. And like with a lot of young catchers, he's got a lot on his plate to try to handle. He handled this curveball very, very well. He just rocked back to that backside, kept everything in place, and just drove it to the left side of this ballpark, out of the reach of Brandon Barnes, who gave a gallant effort trying to keep that thing in the yard.
You know, when you throw a curveball that hangs up there, that becomes like a BP fastball to a big league hitter.
Come one or two things. They either pop it straight in the air or they hit it a country mile. They get so aggressive they just get underneath the baseball, or they happen to square it up.
So a run in for the Padres. It's 1-1 on Tyson Ross. He takes a strike there.
Ross can swing the bat a little bit. You got to be careful. Got a home run, got a couple RBIs on the season, hitting 200.
That's pretty good hack right there.
Ross in his last 4 starts has had a base hit. Longest, calisthenics going on. I like it. So Dougie, if he's got 4, what's the longest hitting streak of a starting pitcher?
I don't know what's going on with that class out there in center field.
They're working out.
Change up, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Bettis. Solarte will be next.
They're getting fired up out there.
Well, we saw a lot of rain today. If it happens to snow, I mean, you know, that's strange weather. The one guy we'll be able to find very quickly will be Yangervis Solarte because of, you know, the shoes he's wearing with the.
What do you think about all that?
Shoelaces.
What do you think about that?
I like it.
You like that?
Just in case.
Doesn't match up a whole lot with the rest of your ball club.
No, it doesn't. I agree with that, but it seemed from 2 miles away. I'm with you. I'm a little old school when it comes to uniformity.
Remember that one time when I first got traded to the Yankees, went to right field, I started to run into center field without a hat on, and one of the grounds crew guys came up, said, "Could you please put your hat on and let it be forward, and don't take it off again, because I don't want Mr. Steinbrenner to call down here and tell me to put your hat on. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We don't play late."
That was the grounds crew guy also. Home run by Hedges, 1-0 Padres. 1-0 against Tyson Ross and the Friars. Blackman, LeMahieu, Tulowitzki. Charlie caught looking on an 0-2 fastball in the inside corner starting out the ball game. And he takes ball one there. Charlie in the game last night, 2 for 5, including a home run. He had a single and a stolen base in the 7th inning also. 24 stolen bases for Blackman. Ross will work some deep counts typically. We have not seen that though through the first 3 innings.
35, 36 pitches now, 21 for strikes. Ross this year against the National League West 3-2 and earned an average of 2.80 in 7 starts.
Charlie's gathered his thoughts, and here we go with a 2-1 pitch. Tyson Ross grew up literally in the shadows of the Oakland Coliseum. Son of a pediatrician. His dad a pediatrician, his mom an ER nurse. 3-2. I'll tell you in a moment about a special day for Tyson Ross and his family. A little more than a month ago. Here's the 3-2, and that's inside. Good eye from Blackman, so there's the first walk of the game.
Same pitch that he struck him out with previously. It just caught more of the plate. This time he ends up a 2-out walk.
Well, Tyson Ross came in a trade from the Oakland A's. His little brother was the #1 pick of San Diego. He was traded in the offseason to Washington. On June 6th, he made his major league debut. There was Tyson in the stands with his family as younger brother Joe pitched against the Cubs. He lost that game, won his next 2. He was sent out because Steven Strasburg came back. But what a nice, classy move by Buddy Black and the Padres. Buddy at the time was the manager. And it was an off day for Tyson in that he wasn't the starting pitcher. He said, you got to go back and see your little brother. He goes, I would love that opportunity. And they worked it out. So Tyson was there in Washington to see his little brother make his big league debut.
It should be a family affair. You get that opportunity, it might not ever come around again. That base hit by DJ.
Yeah, let's see if Charlie heads to third. He's going to have to shut it down at second as Venable was quick to the baseball. So the Rockies had the first 2 men on here in the 4th against big brother Tyson Ross. That's a 10-game hitting streak, by the way, for DJ LeMahieu. You got the big bats coming up. First, here's Tulowitzki. And this is where the Rockies have just failed miserably, not just last night, but in San Diego this year. 0 for 27 with runners in scoring position. I did not misspeak. 0 for 27 runners in scoring position at Petco this year. Troy fires at the first offering. It's 0-1. And that's a base hit through the right side. Here's Kemp to the baseball. Blackman gets a stop sign from Stu Cole. LeMahieu didn't see it. And now he's hung up. Boy, this is last night revisited. Now Blackman is coming home. DJ goes to third, and at least Tulo gets to second. And now Blackman will give himself up. This is unbelievable. Walt was upset about the base running blunders after the game yesterday. The Rockies should have the bases loaded. DJ didn't see that Blackmon was given a stop sign. Should be bases loaded, nobody out. And instead, the Padres get a gift out on the bases.
Yeah, they sure do. And this is where Stu held him up, as he should have. DJ LeMahieu came around third base with the head down, obviously. Did not pick it up. And Charlie tries to go here, and they make the snap throw, and then it's Charlie. And then he allows Tulo to move up. But they get the lead runner. Ross is going to elect to go to the windup with runners at second and third versus staying in his normal stretch. Well, now he's going to step off. We'll see if he goes back to it. He's going to stay right into the windup. A lot of times, even though he's a left-handed hitter, you'll go to the stretch. You get a better view and hold the runner a little tighter. Strike one to Cargo. So what you got on that? 9?
I'm waiting for Doug to hand me the slip of paper.
No, 9-2-5. I'm doing memory here.
That's inside. 1-1. This is a huge at bat for Cargo, obviously.
But as for the Rockies in this ballgame, Tyson Ross has controlled it with men in scoring position all year long. He's going to have a tough job here to control this.
Spitting them out a little bit. 2-1. Folks had to look deep in the closet this afternoon on the way before going to the ballpark to find an umbrella. This is San Diego after all. 9-2, 6-5-3. 9-2, 6-5-3. 2-1. And Cargo is going to get the run home. DJ slides in, though Yonder Alonso thought about coming home, so that ties up the game.
First 10,000 to the gates next Saturday. You're going to receive a Colorado Rockies t-shirt, all courtesy of Taco Bell. Make sure you're one of the first 10,000 through the gates next Saturday. The Cincinnati Reds will be in town.
Arenado with Tulowitzki at third. They just can't make those kind of mistakes in a ballpark that does not relinquish a lot of runs against a pitcher that doesn't figure to give up a lot of runs. One on Arenado. Slider for a strike. It is 1-2. That hit by Tulowitzki means he's now reached in 40 straight games. It also broke the stretch of 27 at bats without getting a hit with a runner in scoring position. This is bounced foul.
See two sliders in the heater in. Trying to freeze him with a fastball in the inside corner, and he missed at 91. That was the pitch he wanted to get to. He didn't want to get in the 3-2 count. See if he goes slider here. Slider is called.
Jason, you got Nolan to chase. In the inning, the Rockies get a run on 2 hits, but who knows what could have been. It ties it at 1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Brought to you by the Ford Focus, big MPGs and fun to drive. Ford, go further. By Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. We welcome you back to San Diego. The Padres and Rockies tied at 1. Yonder Alonso, the two-hole hitter, leading off in the 4th against Chad Bettis. And the first pitch is lifted to center field. Charlie Blackmon territory. And that'll bring up Matt Kemp.
4 straight innings. Leadoff man's unsuccessful against Chad Bettis. That plays a major role in being able to calm down innings, particularly in the middle of their lineup. Bettis this year in 4 starts against the National League West, 2-0 with a .355 earned run average.
Now, guys like playing behind Chad because he gets right back on that rubber and fires the baseball. There's not a lot of standing around when Bettis is on the hill. Matt Kemp punched a little ground ball to Ben Paulson his first time up. This is fouled off and out of play.
What I noticed so far, this second time, third time through the lineup, particularly the second time, their hitters are firing early because they don't want to get to the curveball. They don't want to get to the slider. Right now, the humidity, according to John Reynolds, is 83%, which is unheard of in San Diego. Better break the ball in the heavy air. Just telling you, that's what JR gave me. Dougie gave me rain. JR gave me humidity.
I would never doubt anything Doug or JR gave. Actually, I would doubt a lot of things JR gave you, to be frank. 2 strikes on Matt Kemp. And that's 3 strikes on Kemp. And when you hit 3, you got to go away. 2 outs. 4 strikeouts in the ball game for Texas Tech product Chad Bettis. With every challenge call, the Subaru Eyesight Review will determine the outcome. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Justin Upton hit a home run last night, as did Matt Kemp, and that was weird. Was time
called it a ball? No.
That is really strange. I think Justin Upton thought he had time. He kind of wandered out of the batter's box. That pitch counted. I believe it counted.
It's not on the board yet, but I think it did count. See, the umpire state squad.
DJ Rayburn did not grant time, and so it's a 1-0 count.
From a pitcher's perspective, you see the hitter back away and you go, is it time or not? And you kind of slow your body down in your arm action. It's just tough to throw a strike. Now all of a sudden you're in a 2-0 count.
Against a guy you'd rather not be in a 2-0 count against.
This is where the maturity part of throwing a breaking ball behind the count. He went straight fastball.
And Upton hits it a long way, but it will die shy of the wall, fortunately. So Upton gave it a ride, but he's the 3rd out of the 4th inning, and we move to the 5th with the Rockies and Padres tied at 1.
Doyle, and he has been scratching his head because when the Rockies come to Petco Park, their offense seems to disappear, especially with runners in scoring position. The team now just 1 for 30 with runners in scoring position in the 2015 season. And the Rockies, well, they lead the National League with runners in scoring position, hitting .291. So does the philosophy have to change?
No, this is a grind. This is a grind through it situation. You can't change your offensive mindset, and especially a mindset that's been working everywhere else but here. So we're just going to keep grinding.
He wishes he had the quick answer, but of course the Rockies found a way to scratch out a run last inning. However, it wasn't the best base running again, and you guys mentioned it. Something that Walt Weiss was very concerned about after the game. He addressed it again today, and he really didn't feel like it was going to be an issue a second day in a row. These guys are professionals. They come to the park. They know what they need to do. Yesterday they didn't do it, and again, one more mistake today so far.
Yeah, and it's happened. Some of the base running mistakes have happened to really good base runners, really sharp guys. I mean, DJ LeMahieu was the run who had his head down and didn't see Stu Cole and didn't see the guy in front of him, Charlie Blackmon, stop. That's a swing. And we know DJ's a real heady player and a good base runner. Drew Stubbs, same thing. He got picked off last night. Cargo has always been a good base runner. He ran into an out at third tried to cross over in front of him on a hard hit ball to shortstop. Will Middlebrooks just flipped to Solarte for the out yesterday. Two and two. Ben Paulson leading off the fifth. Nick Hundley's on deck. One thing you notice with Ross, George, there's a lot of foul balls, mishit ground balls, and that tells you there's a lot of late movement with his fastball and obviously with his slider.
Well, I think too, as a pitching coach and as a manager, you'd love to see a few more swings and misses. That pitch count would stay down a little bit more. A lot of these little foul ticks because they're able just to get to the top of the baseball when it's sinking down and away from it. 59 pitches, the 60th coming here in the fifth. All that's good for right now. I got it. Well, go ahead.
Tyson Ross has one of the highest actual whiff percentages in baseball. He's at just under 32%, which is up there with some big names. Chris Sale, we know what kind of year he's had. Clayton Kershaw won today, that suspended game that was continued earlier today in Washington. Francisco Liriano. And the fastball's popped up. Jerko makes the catch, 1 out. The league average, you saw that Ross is around 32%. The league average for whiffs for a pitcher is around 22%. Gives you an idea what kind of stuff a pitcher has. Here's Nick. Hundley grounded to deep short his first time up. There's a strike on the outside corner on Nick. Still keeps a home in this area with his young family. From ESPN Stats and Info, Clayton Kershaw last 2 starts, 27 strikeouts. No walks. First pitcher in 100 years. Wow. How about Nick Hundley batting .309, second best batting average of any catcher in baseball, second to Buster Posey. He really feels that he's worked hard with Blake Doyle, and it started even before Nick officially put on a Rockies uniform. They started having conversations. Nick doing a much better job at using the whole field. He's had a really nice season in his inaugural campaign with the Rockies. He's hitting .500 against his old club this year, 9 for 18.
And for me, I mean, it's more of what he does with the pitching staff as far as working through a game. He's had some young. He's had a lot of shuffle. They've had guys injured. They've had guys up and down.
I'll tell you something else, and you've probably been able to view this a little bit on television. Being a leader is a trait you'd love to have in every one of your catchers. I'm sure, George, you had some guys that were great leaders and other guys that, you know, caught well but maybe weren't leaders in the clubhouse. This guy's a natural leader, and if something needs to be said in the clubhouse or wherever it may be, Nick's not afraid to be that guy.
But you have to earn that respect to do that. You can't just come in a clubhouse and be a new player and all of a sudden start barking to other players about what they're doing on and off the field, what they're doing in preparation for the game, till you earned their respect. They respected him when he got here, but the respect multiplied once they were around him for a period of time.
Sun peeking out finally. I feel a little bit more like I'm in San Diego. 3-2. And Tyson Ross strikes out his friend Nick Hundley, and that's the fourth strikeout for Ross. 2 gone, and that'll bring up Brandon Barnes.
Purple Monday, it's coming up. So wear purple, win prizes. First 5,000 fans receive a DJ LeMahieu Purple Monday t-shirt coming up this Monday as the Texas Rangers will be in town.
Barnes, an infield hit his first time.
On another note, you know, the Olympics got rid of baseball. So now they play the Pan American Games. Today, the United States walked off Cuba on a home run in the bottom of the 9th inning. They will play for the gold medal tomorrow. They'll play the winner of Canada and Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico beat the United States earlier in the tournament. Tom Murphy, the AA catcher, highly regarded catcher of the Colorado Rockies, has started a majority of those ball games for the U.S. team.
And our old friend Jim Tracy's the manager at Team USA, and he was quoted as saying after the ball game he felt like, I've had the privilege to manage a lot of games in the big leagues over 11 years, and I don't care where you're at.
Barnesy with another one.
Yeah. Said, I don't care where you're at, what park you're in, or what team you want to talk about. You couldn't watch a better baseball game than the one you just saw played right here. That's the truth. That was absolutely tremendous. We have done an unbelievable job the last couple of days. That's Jim Tracy. It sounds like Trace, doesn't it?
Well, Marcel Latchman's the pitching coach on that ball club. Jim Lett, his longtime coach in L.A. Pittsburgh, was also a member of the coaching staff. Surrounded by good friends, they're having a good time. Those are all professional players playing in that tournament. And mostly, nobody can be on the 40-man roster. Obviously, it's difficult to get pitching prospects to go because they're worried about injuries. So you get a lot of older pitching guys to go. The one guy that pitched today and did a nice job, Aaron Blair, pitches for the Arizona Diamondback ball club, got the opportunity to go, and he pitched well.
Bettis grounds out to end the 5th inning. Rockies and Padres tied at 1, middle of 5. in Cheyenne?
Oh, yeah, Cheyenne Frontier Days. The governor's there, Tracy Ringlesby.
And I know he was going to be on his way up there shortly. What a great time. Get up to Old Cheyenne over the next several days. See the great rodeos in the world. Some great concerts as well. 1-1 the score here with George Frazier and Jenny Cavnar. I'm Drew Goodman. Bottom of the 5th inning for the Padres. Jed Jerko, Will Venable, Clint Barmas against Chad Bettis. Chad has allowed a run on 2 hits. Austin Hedges a home run in the 3rd inning to provide the offense for San Diego. Rockies trying to right the ship here at Petco, a place typically they've played well, but the last couple of years they've lost 14 of their last 17. Real low pitch count for Bettis.
It's worked because of the ground ball outs. He's had 4. It's another timeout not given and a ball.
Yeah, how about
4 ground outs, 4 flyouts, 4 strikeouts for Bettis so far in the ball game.
How about that? That's twice in one game. Unfortunately, both times Chad missed the strike zone. Did that get both?
No, he got DJ.
DJ Rayburn.
Didn't you hear him yell, ow? You can hear him yell when it caught him. Nick Hundley's like, you all right? Doing okay? Well, good. Start calling those strikes whenever those guys call timeout.
One ball, 2 strikes. Fastball, see you later. Beautifully spotted by Bettis right on the black. Number 5 on the evening for Chad Bettis.
Worked everything away on the outer half of the zone, and then he paints the fastball, just squared up Nick Hundley for strike 3. That's what happens when you look in trying to pull all the time, then it paints you away. You get to grab some pine. Meat.
Will Venable struck out his initial at bat. Will takes outside, ball 1.
I like this player. I think he's got a chance. Once he can stay healthy, if he can do that, that's the big question mark, of course. I just think he's got a chance to take off and be a prominent player as he was 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, hit 20+ home runs for
the injury
Padres.
bug hit him.
He's carved out a decent career. Will's 32 now. And this ball hit on the ground to DJ. Gathers himself and throws out Venable. You know, it was a couple years ago, George hit 22 home runs. Close to 270. A ballpark that typically does not allow many home runs, as you know. Son of Max Venable. You competed against Max.
Until this year, it didn't reveal a lot of home runs. This year, all of a sudden, it's 5th most.
Modesto Nuts, former Modesto Nut. Corey Dickerson will make a rehab appearance tomorrow and Monday in the Cal League. That's good news. Corey will be heading out after the ball game. And Barmy hits it in the air to Cargo in right, and another real quick inning for Chad Bettis. Get him some runs. 1-1 as we go to the 6th. recap. Not a lot of offense to recap because Chad Bettis has been outstanding and Tyson Ross has been very good. 5 strikeouts, no walks for Chad. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk allowed by Ross. Look at that, through 5 innings, George. Chad Bettis averaging 11 pitches an inning.
A lot of ground ball outs. There's 5 now, and then the fly ball outs. There's 5, and the strikeouts. There's 5.
Rockies have the top of the order, and this was the group in the 4th inning that set the table for the Rockies to score once, and perhaps they could have had a bigger inning if not for a base running mistake. Blackman walked, and DJ behind him had a base hit. Tulowitzki had a base hit. The first 3 reached in the 4th against Tyson Ross.
Almost half of his starts, he's gone over well over 100 pitches. 75 as he enters 76 now here in the 6th inning.
He's a big, strong, sturdy guy. 2nd round pick out of Cal by the A's back in 2008. Two ones fouled off. Ross a year ago in 195 and 2/3 struck out 195, so a strikeout per inning pitch. This year it's even better. He came in 110 and a 1/3 innings and he had struck out 118. This is fouled off. This is a staff that'll pile up the punch outs because James Shields strikes out a lot of guys. He had 131 going into the ball game last night among the league leaders. So is Ross. Ian Kennedy, as you know, Frazier, when he's right, he can pile up the strikeouts a little bit.
They got pitching staff that can do it, and that doesn't include their bullpen. Darren Bosley's done a great job as a longtime pitching coach here under Buddy Black, who was a great pitching coach for the Angels. 5 punch outs for Ross now.
So with 1 gone, LeMahieu will take his turn. DJ 1 for 2. He had the single in the 4th inning.
An ambush first pitch fastball to right field.
DJ 6th in the National League with 101 hits now. He's hitting .350 on balls on the inside portion of the plate. That great inside out swing of his. Now he's behind in the count here, 0-2, but no panic for this guy. We used to say that all the time about Helton. DJ's hitting .330 this year when he's behind in the count. Yeah, that's ridiculous. And this ball will not produce a hit, though. Barmes throws out LeMahieu. 2 out here in the 6th, and that'll bring up Tulowitzki. Troy, with the knock in the 4th inning, has reached in 40 consecutive ball games. Just the 4th streak of any kind to reach 40 or more games in Rockies history. Here's the 1-0 to Troy. So this is within 1 season, consecutive games reaching. Michael Kadire in 2013, 46 in a row. Troy now 40. If you include streaks that went from 1 year to the next, there are a couple other ones. Galarraga 96-97 reached in 41 in a row. 07-08 Helton reached in 41 in a row. 2 runs outside, 3-1. last Sunday, right before the All-Star break, before Troy packed his bags and headed to Cincinnati for his 5th All-Star game, he had a 3-run home run, his 10th of the year. And he draws a walk here with 2 outs in the 6th inning. That will allow Cargo to hit.
Cargo today has struck out, and then grounded out to first base. So you'll get an opportunity with a couple of outs, Troy at first base, to extend this inning.
One thing Troy's doing since really picking up the average, and they usually work together, as you know, George, he didn't walk much, which is odd for him the first couple months. The last 6 weeks, man, he's walking at a great rate.
I don't think he saw the ball quite as well earlier in the season. I think he was trying to press a little bit, testing the hip a little bit. So I think with all that combination, that's why you saw some of the things going on with Troy's at-bats earlier. Now you're looking at the Troy of old.
Shift is on. 1 strike to count on Cargo. Was our camera guy right down there? That thing ricocheted right past the first base camera well and shot up into the crowd. Looks like everybody's okay. Cargo is hitting 7 of 8, a .452 average. We'll have to find a gap right here. Strikes out Gonzalez for a 2nd time. Tulo's left at first, middle of 6. It remains 1-1.
In his first year with the Colorado Rockies, of course, he was drafted by the San Diego Padres, made his major league debut in 2008. And in the 6 years he spent here in San Diego, he played for one manager, and that was Bud Black. A lot of familiarity for Hundley here. That includes a spring training speech he and the other catchers always got from Bud Black.
Them being the jockey and the pitcher being the horse. And not every horse is the same, and you have to ride that horse. And Nick always got a kick out of that line because I said it every spring to the catchers. And, you know, I think he sort of took that to heart that, you know, you have to do certain things as a catcher and to have the ability to relate and connect with people.
And that is something Nick Hundley does very well. You think about his last couple of years, traded from the Padres to the Baltimore Orioles last year, having to get to know to the playoffs, and then of course coming here to Colorado and having to have just the winter to really get to know an entire staff, get to spring training, be connections and those relationships. So it was really great to catch up with Bud Black, and he said he really enjoys watching Nick from afar, one of his favorite players that he's had all time. And I think you guys, knowing Bud Black and now knowing Nick Hundley, understand why.
Oh, clearly. And it's good to see the video of Bud Black. As we talked about yesterday, so strange to not see Bud Black atop the Padres dugout. And what Nick has done in the Rockies uniform the first few months, and how he's led, we discussed that earlier, how he's handled this pitching staff and the offense he's thrown out there. You can understand why the Rockies are very aggressive in pursuing him this past winter. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Austin Hedges. And Bettis goes fastball again, and Cargo will drift back and make the catch. That'll bring up Tyson Ross.
Well, I think it felt like, too, they needed an upgrade. They needed to have a guy that could go behind the plate and make those decisions. And the thing that Nick did, he didn't come in, take his time around spring training to get in shape. He caught all the bullpens he could catch on all the prominent pitchers they thought were going to be a part of this organization. Do's and don'ts, what pluses, minuses.
Ross hits it sharply. Paulson's there on the backhand, and the flip to Chad Bettis.
Make sure you're one of the first 10,000 for the gate Sunday, July 26th. You'll receive a Nolan Arenado Gold Glove bobblehead, all courtesy of King Soopers.
Yanner v. Solarte with 2 outs. Single and a ground ball to second for the switch hitter. Two and 0. This ball's crushed but foul.
Just a loud strike.
Solarte came from the Yankees in the Chase Headley deal a couple seasons ago. Native of Valencia, Venezuela. 2-1 changeup, and he didn't bite. 3-1. And the first walk allowed by Bettis.
2-out walk. I mean, that's one thing you try to stay away from, particularly as you're flipping the lineup over.
Just the 3rd base runner tonight for San Diego. Solarte led off the bottom of the 1st with a single. There was the home run in the 3rd by Hedges, and that snaps a string of 9 straight retired by Bettis. The walk to Solarte. Here's Yonder Alonso, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play and hit a fly ball to center field. And a strike on on Yonder Alonso. Alonso's more of a singles doubles guy than a first baseman that hits the ball over the wall.
Big, strong guy. He just doesn't. He's got a lot of top spin and gap to gap type power. Not a lot that goes over the ballpark. Short, quick to the baseball. Very compact swing. couple of former big league pitchers going head to head in Las Vegas with Albuquerque. In Albuquerque. Aaron Laffey, who came up last week and relieved, 4 innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, no runs. Dylan G, 4 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts for the Las Vegas 51.
Referred to it earlier, Eddie Butler will return to the big leagues and start tomorrow for the Rockies. He's been down in Albuquerque last several weeks. 2-2. Eddie's 2-0 his last 3 starts in Albuquerque. ERA around 4. 16 punch-outs in 19 innings. He's walked 6. It's been a mixed bag, to be honest, since he returned to Albuquerque. Some good, some not so good, and a very difficult league to pitch in.
We got to get consistent with the secondary stuff more than anything for me. The curveball's got to come into play. A little more sharpness with the slider and the changeup. It's going to make his fastball play up bigger.
Solarte will be off with the pitch. 3-2 on Alonso, and that's ball 4. Now you've created a 2-out issue. You got to deal with Matt Kemp.
Kemp, weak ground ball to first and a strikeout in the ball game back in the 4th inning.
Steve Foster's going to come out.
More than anything, just give him a little bit of a breather. Straighten out a little bit of the mental side of things.
You got to deal with, as I said, Matt Kemp. Kemp's been swinging it well. And he owns 31 lifetime home runs against the Rockies. That's the most of any active player. Also on that list, the guy who hits behind him, Justin Upton, with 22. Yesterday was the first time that they've both hit a home run in the same game. It's coming to the Padres. So this is where, as a pitcher, George, you got to slow it all down, huh?
Slow the game down, make the pitch to get out of the inning. You don't want to fall behind in a 2-0 count. He did that earlier. Got into some hitters' counts. B.J. Upton drove one to the wall.
Well, Kemp lines the first pitch toward left center field. 1 run will score, rolls to the wall, and a green light for Alonso. He will score. A 2-run, 2-out double by Kemp, and that breaks up a 1-1 game, and the Padres now lead it 3-1.
50 RBIs on the season now for Matt Kemp. 2 quick outs, a fly ball to right, a ground ball to first, and then 2 consecutive walks and a center cut fastball to a very good fastball hitter in Matt Kemp. And he drove it out into left center field. And from where I was looking at Hundley set up, they wanted that ball off the plate away from Kemp. They did not want it, obviously, in the center of the plate. Kemp made him pay for it.
That's reminiscent, unfortunately, for Chad, of his last game. He was cruising against Atlanta, and he got the win. 6 innings, 3 runs, 6 hits, but he had a shutout going into that 6th inning and just couldn't really make that one pitch to get off the field, if you remember, in that 6th inning. It's the same thing here. Back-to-back walks. In the first one, you felt like, okay, it's harmless. But then you walk Yonder Alonso on a 3-2 pitch, well, and you have to deal with a great hitter.
And the only reason I kind of disagree with what you said is it's not a harmless walk because it's the top of the order. Your better hitters hit at the top of the order. You're going to work your way into the middle of their order if you walk a couple of guys, and that's exactly what happened.
So now Upton at the plate, and he's got a 2-0 count. He had a 2-0 pitch almost to the wall in center his last time up. He'll try a pick play on Kemp.
Got 8 stolen bases. He's only been thrown out 1 time.
Christian Friedrich getting loose. Change up 2-0, and it's 3-0.
Catchers and pitching coaches can look out at the mound and tell when they're losing it, and losing it quick. Start to see the slider get flat. Velocity drops a tick or two. And another slider and another walk. The BJ up.
It's amazing because the pitch count was and still is relatively low for where he is in the game. He got 2 quick outs in the 6th, and he's now walked 3 out of 4. And of course, the 1 pitch to Kemp got ripped for a double. Jed Jerko at the plate. Bettis had not walked anybody. And that ends the inning as Arenado throws out Jerko, but a 2-run double off the bat of Kemp. And as we go to the 7th, it's now 3-1 Padres. Sports is brought to you by Office Liquidators, offering Colorado's largest selection and lowest prices for new, used, and refurbished office furniture. And by the newly redesigned 2016 Mitsubishi Outlander. 7th inning, Nolan Arenado will hit first against Tyson Ross. Now the Rockies trail by a couple of runs after the 2-run double by Matt Kemp. Goodman, George Frazier, Jenny Cavnar. Early evening on a Saturday in San Diego. Arenado a comebacker and a strikeout on a 3-2 slider. Nolan's got his family in town, coming down from the Anaheim area. Fly ball right field on the first pitch. Kemp's got it, 1 out. Ben Paulson will be next. He's fouled out to 3rd and hit a pop to 2nd.
Mauer's back up throwing again after last night. He threw an inning, gave up a run on a couple of hits in the ball game He walked one, struck out one.
And that's 3-0 on Ben Paulson. Rockies just 17 and 28 inside the National League West. That's a strike. Padres 22 and 21 inside the division. And that's sharply hit to right. So Paulson has a single. Rocky's 5th hit. And that'll bring up Nick Hundley representing the tying run with 1 out.
10,000 fans, if you show up and come to the gates of the Rockies versus the Rangers on Tuesday, guess what? You receive a coupon for a Hebrew National Dollar hot dog. Get your tickets now for that Ranger ball game. 100 pitches in the ball game. His ratio much better than what Shields was last night. 61 strikes, 39 balls.
Ground ball to short and a strikeout for Hundley. Nick caught 467 games in a Padre uniform. That's 4th most in club history. Terry Kennedy, number 1, was 792, and I'm guessing our old friend Freddie Kendall's probably 2nd on that list.
You're guessing?
I'm guessing on that one.
You're probably a pretty good guess.
This ball lifted to left field, and Barmes going out. Called off late by Justin Upton. They just did make the catch. He started back initially. When he finished that jog in, he's laughing with Jerko because he's at second base. Jerko saying, dude, what are you doing here?
Yeah,
You're
kind
an
of a strange
outfielder.
deal because Clint went back to go get the baseball, and anytime you hear the outfielder call you off, you just peel your way out of the way. Another look at it. You see Clint going back on this ball. He's under it, and once he hears I got it, he's going to clear the space and allow the outfielder to come make the catch.
And Brandon swings at a slider that moved off the plate. It's 0-1. Ah, it's wrong, George. Again. Forgot about a guy that was pretty darn good.
Gene Tennis.
Gene Tennis was pretty darn good, but he played for a lot of first base. Benito Santiago's 2, Freddie is 3. That's toward the gap in left center field. Roll, baby, roll. All the way to the wall. Paulson's going to come around. He'll score. And here's Barnes heading to third. Safe at third base. And it's a 3-2 game.
Yeah, have a
Brandon
day.
Barnes, have a day. You're right.
Have another day. I love this. Comes up with a triple and RBI, his 10th, to pull the Rockies into 1 run, 3-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning.
And Willeen Rosario will pinch hit for Chad Bettis.
You're going to see now whether Pat Murphy goes to his bullpen or not. Here's the line drive. A lot of backspin and carry into the outfield, and that's where it's going to end up. And right now, Pat Murphy's going to go down to his bullpen. Maurer's been warming up. He'll get Willeen Rosario, has been announced as the pinch hitter for the Rockies as you watch Brandon Barnes head first slide into third base to drive in the 2nd run of this ball game.
So Ross goes off after 6 2/3 tying run at third in the person of Brandon Barnes. singles and a triple a moment ago as he visits with Stu Cole. The triple drove in Ben Paulson, and it's a 3-2 ball game. And Willeen Rosario will pinch hit here with 2 outs. The day after every Rockies victory, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. The promo code's RocksWin at papajohns.com. Not the sun setting yet, but it is a beautiful view now as the sun is peeking through the clouds that have been around for most of the day. A lot of rain today in San Diego. Rosario takes ball 1 against Brandon Maurer. George mentioned the Rockies saw Maurer yesterday, got a run off him.
Rosario in his career, this is the first time they've had a hookup. 44th game for Maurer. He's a hard thrower, good slider, but he's behind Rosario 2-0. That last slider, 89.
You got to sell out on the fastball, I'd think, here, right?
You would think so. Let's just see what they go with and see how they do it. You got a young catcher behind the plate, the veteran guy out on the mound has been there a few times. He has inherited 12 base runners. 4 have scored, not particularly a high score.
Well, you'd sell out on the fastball. Maurer thought he may do that, and he threw the slider, so it's 2-1. And that's a called strike at 96.
That didn't appear to be for a strike. I mean, you're looking at it, it's pretty high. Catcher pulls down below the chin. It's a pitch called a strike. Willeen now with a 2-2 count.
Punch the other way, fair ball. The Rockies have tied it up. Willeen heading to second. He'll have a double. And it's 3-3 in the 7th. A 2-out rally at the very bottom of the Rockies order. Brandon Barnes and the pinch hitter Willeen Rosario.
Big pinch hit for Rosario too. The way he has handled the bat coming off of the bench this year, he's been special doing the work for the Rockies. He's had over 20 appearances now, 21. He's 7 for 21. Brandon Barnes with the huge triple. Willeen with a home run and 4 RBIs now out of the pinch hitter's role. Go fastball away. Alonso playing off the line. It's a dead pull hitter. The ball stays right on the line down into the right field corner. And the Rockies have tied it 3-3.
And Charlie Blackmon can untie it. Oh for 2, a couple of strikeouts and a walk against Tyson Ross.
Hard to fault the manager also, speaking of Pat Murphy, because you had a starting pitcher that was just cruising along with 2 outs, a runner at first. Next thing you know, it's a triple, and it's like, uh-oh, I better get somebody in there and get this thing shut down. Rockies had other thoughts.
And Blackmon's behind 0-2. He faced Maurer last night and had a base hit against him. Books closed on Ross, 6 2/3, 3 runs, 6 hits, a couple of walks, and 6 strikeouts.
Canely, the right-hander, warming up for the Rockies now with the score tied. Friedrich kind of holding on to the baseball here. We'll see which way Walt decides to go. Venable, the left-handed hitting outfielder, is scheduled to lead off the next inning. If you go and bring the left-hander in, it allows him to go to one of the right-handed hitting players in the on the bench that he has. Melvin Upton Jr., Norris, or Middlebrooks. Or just allow Venable to swing the bat. .350 average for Charlie Blackmon with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Boy, what a time it would be now to take one in.
He's got himself back even in the count, 2-2. It's 3-2. Well, the Rockies were down 1-0. They got even with a run in the fourth. Fell behind in the bottom of the sixth, 3-1, and then the top of the seventh. They've been able to get even.
Lane doing a little leg kicks, get the cramps out, and get ready to go on a base hit. Defense typically holds in this situation on a 3-2 count.
And he works underneath this. Fly ball center field. Venable's going to have it to end the inning. But the Rockies come up with a couple of runs with 2 outs. Brandon Barnes, who's had a huge night, with a 2-out triple to make it 3-2. And then Rosario poked the double down the right field line to even things up. Stretch time in San Diego, 3 apiece. We go to the bottom of inning number 7. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Jenny Cavnar. Rockies made a pitching change. I'll tell you about that in a moment, but it's time now for our Data Strong fan photo brought to you by T-Mobile. And how about this? Dave, and Dave's got a new friend, Charlie Blackmon. Look at Charlie, man. Showing off the guns. Look like they're out on the ranch. Here with the Rockies to face Will Venable. Walt Weiss is elected to bring in Christian Friedrich in a tie ball game. Will Venable, Clint Barmas, Austin Hedges. We'll see if this is just for one hitter. And actually, you now have a pinch hitter at the plate. It's Melvin Upton Jr. First pitch, ball 1. Melvin started last night.
.203 average, couple of home runs, 5 RBIs on the season, and on base percentage well under 300 at .282. Still not able to pick up where he had those great years in Tampa after signing a long-term contract with the Atlanta Braves.
And there's his little brother. 2-1, and that cuts inside 3-1.
Still got tremendous speed. You got to be careful. The last thing you want to do is have a leadoff walk here in the 7th inning. Tommy Kahnle is warming up in the bullpen for the Rockies.
3-1, and that's ball 4. Barmes, a great bat handler coming up. You got to figure Murphy from the college game is going to look to build for a run, and Walt's going to bring in the fire thrower, Kahnle, as you suggested, George. So
yeah, well, then he can flip and go to Amarista or Wallace, whichever one he wants to go, or he can leave Clint right where he is and lay the bunt down. It's going to be a sacrifice situation. He's got a lot of choices here.
3-3 game, nobody out in the 7th. A guy who can run, and Melvin Upton Jr. And Clint Barmes has always been a very good bunter. Will, I'm sure, try to do that against Tommy Kahnle, who can run that fastball phrase up to 98.
He's inherited 10 runners. He's stranded every one of them in 20 ball games. This is his 20th appearance, 344 earned run average, with 24 strikeouts and 18 in the third. He does throw the ball hard. The command has to be here for Tommy Kahnle to come into this game and be able to handle Clint Barmes.
Barmes will march to the plate. Upton at first, 5 stolen bases and 7 attempts. Army turned 36 during spring training this year. And he didn't square around at all. Takes ball 1.
Only one person in the Padres has gotten a hit off of Kahnle this year, and that was Kemp. He's 1 for 3. Corey Spangenberg's on the DL.
surprised, George?
Yes.
So am I.
You know, the only thing I can think of is Pat Murphy's thinking, I'm in the second inning, you know, the seventh inning of the ball game. My group's going to have a shot at this. I'm going to go ahead and let it swing away. But I'm surprised, bottom of the seventh, no outs, runner on first. One of two things. If you're going to let him swing, why not be a hit and run?
May show up here, 1-1. Not going, and this ball's hanging. Well, I guess that's why you let him swing, huh?
Yeah, smart away, huh?
Every time the Rockies catch up, the Padres go ahead, and it's the erstwhile Rocky Clint Barnes with a 2-run, 7th-inning home run. Just his 3rd of the year.
10 RBIs now for Clint.
Always been able to hit the fastball.
Yes, he can. You're not going to sneak it by him by any means. And that fastball for Tommy Canely ended up out in the deck, first deck of the Western Metals Supply Company. And part of that run will be charged, one of those, to Christian Friedrich after the leadoff walk. Just kind of felt like he had a bad taste in the mouth after the leadoff walk. It wasn't going to be a fun inning for the Rockies, and it's not so far.
Hedges takes ball 1. Now the Padres, George, hit 3 home runs last night. They've hit 2 more tonight. I mean, you look at Chad Bettis' line, 6 innings, 3 runs, just 3 hits. He had 3 walks, all came in the 6th inning. He struck out 5, only threw 80 pitches. And now the 2-run home run allowed by Canely. One of those runs obviously charged to Friedrich. You know, I was shocked that they didn't try to build the run and bunt Barmes. And obviously it worked out, the decision for Pat Murphy. This ball is fair. And look at this play by Arenado. He finished it. What a play by Nolan. Austin Hedges looking over in that direction. Austin, you've seen the highlights, I'm sure, late at night. Every time you get ready to put your head on the pillow, now you get robbed.
You think you got a double down the left field line, and then Nolan able to just 2-step glide over, 2 hops, able to pick the ball on the backhand. Get out of my way, I'm getting ready to make a play here. Nice pick too by Ben Polson at first base.
His accuracy, George, like Tulo's from every kind of arm angle.
Yeah, but it's a 2-part deal. You got to have a guy over there at first base to be able to pick balls out of dirt. But a lot of guys don't even get to that baseball. Brett Wallace will come on to pinch hit. One-time high-rated prospect with the St. Louis Cardinals, traded to the Oakland A's, traded to the Houston Astros, released, picked up by the San Diego Padres. Not one guy in that dugout very familiar with Brett Wallace, Pat Murphy. He won the Pac-12 or Pac-10 Triple Crown. He comes up with a base hit here into right field. Pat Murphy coached at Arizona State. Brett Wallace played for him.
Wallace got on top of the heater. He's at first for Solarte. Now, 5 of the last 11 outings, Tommy Canely has given up a run. Solarte is 1 for 2 and a walk, scored in the 6th inning. On the 2-run double by Matt Kemp, that gave the Padres a 3-1 lead at the time. The Rockies in the next half inning had that 2-out rally to tie it at 3. Here's another by the way. Clint Barmes now has 5 home runs in 19 career games against Colorado. Worked for Clint for several years in Pittsburgh, and now here he is back in the division. Wherever he's gone, he's been immensely popular in the clubhouse with everybody he comes in contact with. Rockies just wish it didn't happen to them tonight. Into the bat, fly ball to Cargo. 2 gone. That'll bring up Yonder Alonso. Start thinking about, all right, 6 outs of offense left for the Rockies.
Yeah, it's tough to keep asking, though, Drew. I mean, it's every night you're asking this offense, come back, give me more runs, give me more runs. And, you know, the next inning you're going to have LeMahieu, Tulowitzki, Gonzalez, and Arenado. So you got a chance to do something that next inning. You're probably going to get Benoit more than anything. He's the guy that threw the 8th inning last night. I would say Benoit is probably going to come on and throw the 8th inning here tonight, too, and then Kimbrel tonight. Quackenbush playing a little bit of catch, Benoit the other.
Quackenbush closed for a good portion of last year.
When he made the trade for Kimbrel, Vincent and Quackenbush were both sent to AAA. That's how good a bullpen they thought they had.
Yeah, think about that, huh? The closer from a year ago gets sent out.
With a .263 earned run average over 60 games.
Yeah, I mean, he was an effective closer, not just a
job
guy.
Yep.
2-0 on Alonso, 0 for 2 and a walk. Changeup 2-0. Man, George, the arsenal's there. You're talking about a high 90s fastball and a dirty changeup. One that he actually throws for strikes seemingly anytime he wants. He has better command of that than he does the heater most nights.
It's got to be consistent. It has to be consistent to take that next step and be your 8th inning shutdown or 7th inning shutdown setup guy and work your way to the closer's role. But you're right, the arsenal's there. The consistency has not been.
That was well located, 2-2. Looks like he cut that a little bit.
Unintentional. I mean, that's the thing about Tommy. He's got such great stuff. He doesn't know half the time what it's going to do. I mean, it's just all finger pressure and hand positioning. He just knows to throw extremely hard and then use the changeup as a secondary pitch, as the main secondary pitch to go with the hard slider.
2-2. Missed down low, 3-2. Ben Paulson will remind Tommy that he's going to move behind Brett Wallace at first. The foul tip's held by Nick Hundley, and that strikes out Yonder Alonso. In the inning, a 2-run home run from Clint Barmes has given the Padres a 5-3 lead in the 8th. San Diego as we go to the 8th inning. Melvin Upton Jr., who pinch hit for Will Venable, naturally stays in center field. And the 8th inning man for the Padres is Joaquin Benoit. He had a 1-2-3 8th inning yesterday. He struck out DJ LeMahieu among a couple of strikeouts last night. He'll face DJ right here to lead things off in the 8th. Rockies again down by 2 runs.
Has always possessed a very good fastball, nasty split. That fastball 93 missed off the plate. Go along with a slider. Was a closer for this team a year ago. Was going to be the closer till they traded for Kimbrel.
And the first couple miss. That's in there. Two, 3, and 4 for the Rockies lineup. See if they can rally again. 3 and 1.
He's 12 holes, talking about Benoit's 12 holes. Leads his ball club, but it's down the list. For the National League, he's 10th. Johnson, Romo, and Watson all have 20.
Full count on LeMahieu. 1 for 3 tonight. Single and scored in the 4th. And that, oh man, that looked low. DJ's hopping, man. I get it. Walt yelling that was down to DJ Rayburn, and it was down.
DJ knows he missed it too, because a lot of times you don't allow a hitter to point and show those kind of things. Walt's on that front step also. When you miss the pitch as an umpire 9 out of 10 times, and you could see that the ball's low, that when a hitter barks at you, an umpire gets barked at by the manager in the bench, and you don't even glare or look that way, you know you missed that call.
And that's exasperating. The hitters know the strike zone. Especially guys who've been around know it so well. It's 2 strikes on Tulowitzki. That's a big part of DJ's game. You're not going to expand the zone. You're talking about a guy on, nobody out, and power bats up. 0-2 on Tulowitzki, hitting in front of Gonzalez. Cargo will be next. Splitter in the dirt, 1-2. This splitter's pulled to left, stay fair. It did not.
Playing fantasy baseball, MLB.TV serves up real-time highlights, pitch tracking info on your out-of-market fantasy players, live or on demand. Over 400 devices. Sign up today.
Bounces up there, 2-2.
Overamped split finger, trying to keep it out of the hitting zone after the last one was pulled down the left field line.
Tulo's been on base twice tonight. On base 3 times last night. Fastballs fouled off. Crowd of 32,235 at Petco this evening. Tyson Ross went 6 2/3, allowed 3 runs on 6 hits. Chad Bettis cruised into the 6th inning and ended up allowing 3 runs in 6 innings through only 80 pitches. Continues to head in the right direction. Figure out how to get to that 6th inning. It's the 2-2 again. 3-2. Tyson Ross tied a Padres club record. 15 consecutive starts now without allowing a home run. This ball's driven high and deep left field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Solo home run, Troy Tulowitzki, and it's a 1-run game. Number 11 for Tulo.
And another milestone with RBIs, 50. Players start to look at that. All right, I'm 2 games after the halfway point of the season. I got 50, shooting for 100. Benoit on the season at 38 2/3 has given up 5 home runs. This one to Troy Tulowitzki that went in the second deck of the Western Metals Supply Company down the left field line. Remember what he did with the 1 split? He pulled it foul down the line. This didn't get pulled foul. This got crushed down the left field line.
So Cargo up there. He drove in the Rockies' first run with a ground out, and he takes a big swing and misses a fastball up. It's 0-1.
2 for 4 in his career versus Benoit. You know, Tulo's power numbers starting to rise. You're starting to see it more and more with the long ball.
Cargo stayed off that.
Yeah, just think about it, and it's easy to say and do. If Rayburn doesn't ring up DJ LeMahieu, you're sitting there staring at a tied game. I thought the ball was low. So did DJ, and so did Walt.
1-2. th career home run for Tulowitzki. And Cargo goes down swinging. 3rd time tonight. That'll bring up Arenado. Nolan's 0 for 3 this evening. Ground out, strikeout, fly out for Nolan. A 6-game hitting streak. Padres up 5-4. The Rockies have out-hit San Diego 8-5. They out-hit them last night, but lost 4-2. You know what you can't help but think about is that inning, George, in the fourth, where Blackmon led off with a walk, LeMahieu singled, Tulowitzki singled. Stu Cole, rightfully so, was stopping Blackmon at third because the ball was hit hard right at Matt Kemp. And you had Cargo coming up, should have been hitting with the bases loaded, nobody out. DJ, who rarely makes a mistake in any facet of the game, ran all the way to third, and you had a situation where you had two guys basically on third base, and Charlie stayed in a rundown long enough to get Tulo to second, but the Rockies could have gotten more than just one run that inning, and who knows.
Well, I like the chances with nobody out, bases loaded versus one out in second, third.
For multiple runs, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely do. So.
Line shot to Barnes. In the inning, Tulo goes deep to make it a one-run game. Lengthy at bat for Tulowitzki against Benoit, and he got the splitter and he hit it to the second deck of the Western Metal Supply Company. 5-4 Padres, middle of eighth. Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Mike Shaw Subaru. Always our lowest price in sales and service guaranteed. Saturday night, San Diego, Petco Park, the place. The line score, 4 runs on 8 hits for the Rockies. The Padres, 5 runs, 5 hits. They've hit a couple of home runs tonight. The biggest blow, last inning, a 2-run home run. Clint Barmes off of Tommy Kahnle, and now it'll be 42-year-old LaTroy Hawkins coming on for the 22nd time. He'll face Kemp, Upton, and Jerko, trying to keep it a 1-run game and allow the Rockies to hopefully get after Craig Kimbrell. But first things first, LaTroy will face Kemp, who is 1 for 3. Kemp had a 2-run double in the 6th to break open a 1-1 game. And on the outside corner, well delivered at 94.
Hawk trying to win a battle with Kemp that he hasn't won many times. Kemp's 5 for 9 with a home run against LaTroy Hawkins. His quick pitch motion with nobody on.
See anybody else do that, George?
No. It's a crafty move by a crafty pitcher.
Yeah, it's very savvy. Hitters rely on timing, and pitchers rely on messing up the timing of the hitter. That's one way to do it.
You try to, yeah.
One on Kemp, and that's a good hard sinker at 95. Man, he defies age. How many 42-year-olds roll out 95?
Not many. One that I know of. The Troy Hawkins.
One and two. Whoa. Self-defense, and Matt fouled it off. Kemp, acquired by the Dodgers, and one of the reasons, and this guy's one of the big talents in baseball, but Kemp never had a problem hitting at Petco. 298 lifetime average. Justin Upton, the same deal. Who's number one? There's only been one 300 hitter of guys that have taken at least 200 ABs at Petco Park. Todd Helton by a bunch at 338. One and two on Kemp. And it's a high fly ball. It's going to drift into the seats foul down the right field line. Again in the mid-90s. Got him on a changeup. He really fooled Kemp. Nice sequence of pitching there from LaTroy. One out. Well, I'm sure Hawk's going to send out a little happy birthday wish to an old friend of his, an old teammate. Look at this. This is Torrey Hunter. He turned 40, and his teammates in Minnesota got him a walker and diapers.
Having some fun in the locker room.
Yeah. And Torrey's another guy not playing like a 40-year-old.
No, he's not. He's playing on a team that's winning a lot of baseball games in Minneapolis right now.
Justin Upton 0 for 2 and a walk. It's off the end of the bat. LaTroy still moving well. 2 outs. Goes 0 for 3. 2-run home run last night against Jorge, who, for whatever reason, Jed Jerko's got Jorge's number. 13 for 21 now against De La Rosa. And Hawk induces a ground ball to third. Arenado's got it. Nice job in the middle of the order by LaTroy Hawkins. So the Rockies will go to the bat rack in the top of the 9th inning, trailing by a run. They will face Craig Kimbrell. Rockies will try to rally against one of the elite closers in the game. And here was his entrance a moment ago.
Yeah, they kind of had the fire and all the stuff on the board here the way they used to. Just not the same dramatic fashion as it was for Hoffman when he came in from the bullpen. It was hell's bells blaring over the system here in the ballpark. When Hoffman would come in, Kimbrel comes in to fire him, blazes up on the scoreboard.
Well, Eric Gagne came into the same welcome to the jungle of Guns N' Roses. Here's Ben Paulson, and Paulson swings to a fastball at 96. Ben, base hit in the 7th. He would score on the triple by Brandon Barnes. So it's Paulson, Hundley, and Barnes scheduled. Kimbrel, 24 out of 25 saves this year.
Has not faced Paulson in his career. Kimbrel, as you mentioned last night, allowed 7 runs in 2012, 10 runs in 2013, 13 in 2014, and already has allowed 13 here in San Diego. A lot of that coming in April when he had a couple snafus trying to close out a ball game.
It's 1 and 2. Fastball, 1 out. Who wants tacos? Fans follow @RootSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 or more runs. Nick Hundley tonight 0 for 3, a ground ball to short, a strikeout, and a fly ball to left.
His career 1 for 3, that hit, a home run against Kimbrel. How sweet would that be right now?
Real sweet. One on the Rockies catcher, and it's a slider that catches the bottom of the zone at 85.
Nasty. Nasty slider. 13 miles an hour off the fastball. You're geared for the fastball, and you lock and give up on it. Perfect strike down the middle of the plate.
Another slider, and Nick does a nice job wasting that pitch. Two. And the Rockies down to their final out. Brandon Barnes coming up. Brandon's had a large evening. 2 singles and a triple to drive in a run in the 7th. Our CenturyLink link to what's next starting pitchers tomorrow. Eddie Butler will go for the Rockies. Eddie's numbers earlier in the season had come back up from Albuquerque, and the hard-throwing Andrew Kashner will go for San Diego. Here's Barnes trying to keep it alive for the Rockies. Down low, ball one. Daniel Descalso's come out in the on-deck circle to hit in the pitcher's spot, provided Brandon can reach.
Yeah, Brandon made the comment last night after the ball game when I saw him. He said, I was expecting not a 3-2 slider from Kimbrel, but a fastball. He's ahead in the count, 1-0. He's had a good day today. Drew mentioned it. He had the dribbler early to third that Solarte could not make a play, beat it out. Then he came up with a base hit to right field out in front of Matt Kemp. But the big blow was the triple that he hit into left center field. The plate had been Paulson, and he went to third and later came around to score to tie the ball game. Here's the slider in foul territory, knocked down by Solarte. Everybody at Petco, or they're on their feet. They're open for the final pitch from Kimbrel. The Rockies are hoping Barnes can extend it.
1-2 on Brandon. 2-2. And the Padres win it. Kimbrel a 1-2-3 ninth. He struck out the side. 5-4 final Padres. Mauer gets the victory. Friedrich takes the loss. Kimbrel his 25th save. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. The former Rocky Clint Barmes in a 3-3 game takes Tommy Kahnle deep to left. It happened in the 7th inning, just the 3rd home run for Barmes. And you know what? It looked like a changeup now. Originally we thought it was the fastball, but that was a changeup up, and Barmes barreled it. Clint Barmes with the Jimmy John's delivery of the game, and the Padres have taken the first 2 out here in San Diego. 4-2 on Friday night and 5-4 on Saturday evening. And they've now won 6 consecutive ball games at Petco against the Rockies. And they've won 15 of their last 18 against the Rockies in San Diego. Once again, the final score, the Rockies fall tonight 5-4 to the Padres. We get you back to Denver. Mark Stout in our Root Sports Studios. Mark, all yours.